We're joined by Honorable Mark Gbila, a member of the House of Representatives. He joins us from Abuja. Morning, and thank you for joining us today. Could you then tell us, we'll come to the solutions. In fact, that's what primarily this is about. When they say that the minister now, majority, according to him, the statistics they find is that most of those who are called do not speak any Nigerian language. So by then you could then infer or deduce that, okay, well, not Nigerians. But then if they're talking about establishing, ranches or grazing reserves or path, does that mean that we will be doing it for non-Nigerians?
Good morning, Chamberlain and my fellows. Thank you. That's a very, very good question. First of all, the minister and other security agencies have to show us those people that they say have been apprehended, because to the best of my knowledge, I am not aware of a single person that has been held to account for the killing of thousands of Nigerians all over the country. And it's a good point, it's a good observation as well, because we, and when I say we, I speak on behalf of members of the House of Representatives from Benue, and by extension from those parts of the country that have witnessed the wanton killing of their innocent constituents. We are not in support of the government being involved in the creation of ranches. The government might as well go and create a rice milling facility for my people in my constituency who are very good rice farmers. And they might as well go to Zakibiam and create farms so that we can produce more yams. Zakibiam, Nasarawa, Egon. What I'm saying is, whoever wants to get involved in cattle rearing, it's a personal responsibility. No means of livelihood in this country is transcendent to any other. And our government should be responsible enough to know that they are not in the business of creating ranches.
Is the House of Reps, at what stage is that discussion in the House of Reps now, in terms of getting a solution?
Well, there's a bill at the moment that is has gone through second reading, and it will soon go to the committee stage where there will be a lot of input from all stakeholders as well. Now, it is interesting also to note that there has been a lot of misconception about the details of this bill, and we believe that it is important for Nigerians to know that the bill seeks the establishment of cattle ranches, or if you want to use another, semantic term, you could say reserves, but basically a location where people who want to rear cattle can do so without infringing or encroaching on the rights and property of other innocent Nigerians, as is the case in many climes of the world who have a lot more cattle than we do in Nigeria. We cannot continue to uphold obsolete laws and policies that were adopted several years ago when the population of this country was much less than it is today, when there was not as much development as there is today. In every country, you advance. That's why this 8th National Assembly is also looking at certain other laws that are obsolete. They need to be brought up to date to the realities of the time. We cannot continue to promote a means of livelihood that encroaches upon the property and lives of other people.
Honorable Gbila, who will be setting up these ranches? Is it the individuals or the government?
No, the individuals. The individuals, because like I said, we categorically oppose any involvement of government in the setting up of ranches. But that means our government will have to abdicate their responsibilities and start setting up businesses for every Nigerian in this country, if they even think about delving into the issue of setting up ranches. I want to make this very clear to the government that that is not their responsibility, and no means of livelihood supersedes any other in this country.
Okay.
I have people in my constituency who are ardent rice farmers, people in Zakibiam, legendary yam producers. They endeavor on their own to sustain their means of livelihood. Every person who wants to earn a living has that responsibility to do so. The government only provides the enabling environment, infrastructure, the roads that facilitate this. They're not in the business of setting up private businesses for the Nigerian citizens.
So the bill is supposed to contain something about the setting up of a grazing reserve commission. Is that still part of the bill? Is the House of Representatives going to take that out?
Well, I can't say that, unilaterally at the moment. It's a decision, of course, there will be a collective decision of the House, and we'll look at the pros and cons of that decision. So it's not something I can categorically tell you will be taken out, but every aspect of the bill will be thoroughly looked at so that it can be to the best interest of Nigerians.
During that public hearing, when the bill was put forth in the public hearing, what were the feelers you got from the people there?
You see, and this is a plea I want to make to all Nigerians, because this is what I noticed. You see, we're still being very sentimental, biased, and exhibiting a lot of nepotism in the decisions and statements that are made. I was personally disappointed in certain comments by very prominent traditional rulers and even some members of the Senate, a former governor of a state that is also under siege now, talking about the government having the power to give out land wherever they want. Now, it's important for us to put every sentiment aside and look at the facts. Our brothers and sisters are being killed and raped daily. What is the sense in having that continue because we want to defend our own part of the country? It does not make any sense. It is not in the spirit of the unity of this country. This is incendiary, if you ask me. Certain comments made by prominent Nigerians, and they're not aware that there's a conflagration coming upon this nation, the likes of which we have not seen before. If they do not nip this in the bud, it will make Boko Haram seem like a joke, because the people are being killed in their own communities. When members of the House of Reps from Benue made a press statement a few months ago, we made it very clear that this is akin to genocide in our own country, where the federal government is observing with some sense of non-committalness, if I put it that way, why their own citizens are being killed. I would commend the state governments who are concerned. Benue and Nasarawa recently have come to sort of a collaboration to have the synergy that is required to attack these issues. The federal government recently deployed more military people to Agatu. In my constituency, we have those attacks. I don't see them there yet. I hope they're coming there soon. There's some immediate measures they can take, and there are long-term measures that we can take, like the bill. Immediate measures, they need to deploy the might of Nigeria's security agencies to those locations to provide quick action. Our telecom companies need to be responsible enough to know that it is not always about where they can make the best return on an investment, but in security issues, sometimes our people need to be able to have an emergency contact they can have recourse to when these attacks happen, but they're left to be killed on their own without being able to reach out to anybody. So these are some of the issues that we're facing. So from that hearing that you referred to, you could see that unity of this country, the primary responsibility of government to secure the lives of our people, doesn't appear to be paramount on the minds of some of the people there. It's more about, oh, my people, this is the kind of business we do. Nobody does his business to the detriment of the others when it involves encroaching on their land. In most of these communities, they're farmers. If your business is herding cattle, then learn that it has evolved. That's why we no longer trek. We now have motorcycles, we now have vehicles. A musician is also an itinerant income earner. He doesn't just come to the front of my house and start singing every day to make money. He goes to a proper location where he can call and have a concert so he can make money. The same thing with the farmers who farm yam. What if they just go over to the territory of the herdsmen and then without any contact with them start to farm within where their homes are? It doesn't make any sense.